Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing the Pillars of Eternity. And let's put the heads-up display back. And last episode we went to Longwatch. Well, we kinda did okay. We found a dragon and we died on the dragon. But otherwise it went pretty okay. And now we are at the area of Durgan's battery. I was thinking Maegran's Forge, but it's Durgan's battery. Pretty much same thing, but not quite. Anyways, we finally got the absolutely last crew member. It's a Devil of Karok, and which we need to level up right about now. We do know she's a rogue, and I probably put her as a dual weapon style. Maybe rapier, daggers, or something like that. And I might even buy mechanics for her, so there's another mechanic if we ever need. Because I can't, well, sneaking and mechanics maybe. But yeah, I'll start leveling her up, and once I'm done per level, I'll show it to you guys. So be right back. So first level up, stealth 2, mechanics 2. I probably get viewpoints in survival and athletics too, but anyways, we'll see about that. 2 weapon style, so specialized training increases the character's attack speed while using a weapon in each hand. So that's what we are going for now. So next level, be right back. Second level, I bought 3 points in athletics, and then I took a reckless assault. Causes the rogue to dive into battle without a second thought, lowering his or her deflection but increasing accuracy and weapon damage. So deflection goes down 8, but plus 8 melee accuracy, plus 20 melee damage. So let's see if we can do this. Well, what I'm thinking of making probably a very fast dual wielder, hopefully. But we'll see. Probably she dies quite a lot often. So there's that. So be right back. So level 4, 2 points in survival, 1 point in mechanics, and then I took deflecting assault. Increases the rogue's ability to concentrate, reducing the deflection penalty when using reckless assault. So the deflection penalty won't be as bad as it was originally. So next level, be right back. So 1 point in mechanics, saved rest of the points, and finishing blow to press the rogue looks to finish off an injured opponent with precise deadly strike that increases in damage the less endurance the target has. So yeah, not the best when you start the fight, but maybe as the fight continues gets better if I remember to use it. Anyways, next level, be right back. So, mechanics 1, survival 1, and as a talent I took a devastating blow, broadens the rogue's knowledge of critical anatomy, increasing the damage done by finishing blow. It's not much, but it's little, so it should be better. So, again, see you soon. Okay, pretty easy, 1 point in mechanics, and dirty fighting, passive, the rogue employs a variety of underhanded tactics, returning some of their hits into critical hits. So 10% of hits converted to crits. Seems okay. So next level. So level 8. 1 point in survival. Rest dice spared, so I can level up mechanics next time. And for talent, now I took the weapon focus, so trains the character in the use of dagger, rapier, mace, scepter, and a rod. So could give her secondary weapon a scepter, and main would be dagger rapier, maybe, but we will see. So main would probably be dagger rapier, but we'll see what we have in our store. So we have a couple levels to go, so be right back. So 1 point in mechanics and the rest spared. Basically, I think I only have 1 point left. Persistent distraction. Whenever a rogue is contributing the flank affliction on a target, the victim is also distracted. So it's passive. I don't know. It seems maybe it could be a nice idea, but we'll see how it works. And wait, do we have at least 1 level to go? So we're back. So 1 point in athletics, rest spared, so I can level up mechanics next time. And for talents, I got vicious fighting, improves rogue skill with the devious maneuvers, increasing the percentage of the rogue's hit that are converted to critical hits when using dirty fighting. Okay, we got 1 level to go, so we're back. So, last level, mechanics +1, and death blows allows the rogue to size up the target's battlefield position, making sneak attack more effective when the target is afflicted by 2 or more conditions that allow sneak attack. Maybe not that often happens, but at least when it happens, it gives 100% damage and 100% rage damage. Basically, of course, it's... Well, it wouldn't be too hard if I use spells and whatnot, so maybe it happens often enough if I remember to use it. Anywho, I think that was the last one. So, what are we doing? Your mechanics are 11. So are you. 11 without. Basically 8 base, 2 rogue, +1 trapper, and you are with the gloves. So, if need be, we can use Devil of Karok, even better mechanics. Now, the weapons. The weapons. You have those. We don't need those on you, but what do we need is maybe that. So you can use Scepter. Maybe that could be a next one. Deflection, maybe. What? That doesn't really help you. You can't use armor. All right, that was for me, just in case. In stash, Calvinist or Resonance Amplifier. That's a quest item. Stash. It goes. Yeah. I hit my inventory. Good friend. Let's spitter, not splitter. Justice, fine bike. Well, that's a scepter. We could give it to you. So we have a dagger. I think we have 2 daggers. Or... Well, only exceptional rapier. We don't need that. Oh, it was a stiletto, so no. It's pierce damage when this is slash damage, which is actually good. After all, rapier is doing pierce, so it's good to have another weapon that does slash. Now, what else could you use? Obviously not armor. Regeneration, healing bonus. Well, we really don't have anything. Well, we do have this. +1 dexterity. Maybe. Either that or regeneration, but I don't think that is, well, 3.2. I don't think it's that important. Okay. You have a deflection stuff, so we don't need that. Of intellect. Unarmed. Well, that's not for you then. Maybe not. This is for Sagani, definitely. Sagani. Stealthy, +2 to stealth. If we don't have any other better ideas, then yes, let's go with the stealth. Neck. It's burn reduction, okay. We got fingers, suppress affliction. 2 per rest. Tempting, after all, we have other critical things, but I don't know. Of will. Speedy. Final rights mending. Defense against spells, maybe. Fireball. Endurance. And this would do... Now that's interesting. We might want to take that for you. So that would... I'm fairly certain when they're flanked, I probably do sneak damage. So that would definitely help. So either it's endurance bonus or spell defense. Let's see. So endurance would mean what? We have health 656 and endurance 164, 179. So that definitely gives you it, but no, that's the wrong. But is 15 really something I need? Probably not. Let's put the spell defense, flanking boots, dexterity, predatory. Also, though, even better, 10% of hits converted to crits. So that is nice. Yeah. And corrosive siphon once per rest. Inflict steel 5.0 seconds. Duration from each beneficial effect on the target. Steal 15% of the attack speed for 10%. 10 seconds on hit. Bloody hell. We'll go with that. Then we put you. This could be a secondary. So your accuracy is 83, 91, and 86. So if we need range, you can use this. It does crush and slash, and these do pierce and slash. So we pretty much covered with that. Do I have any rings? Well, I do, but do I want to give you something? Suppress affliction 2 per rest. Hostile effect suspended 5 seconds. Well, of course you can have it. Wait, what is this? Arcane dampener. Beneficial effect suspended 15 seconds. So let's put these both on you for now. Better than nothing, I guess. Maybe even useful at times if I remember to use them. Story of my life. Now, maybe. Let's see how this works. Probably horribly. No. Yes. Maybe like so. I don't want her to be the front lines. That was fortunately not that horrible, but still. Now we are doing. His better half. This was something we couldn't find, but I just realized one thing. I think the better half is the bloody dragon, because there's nothing else over that area that could be. We can't go any other new areas or whatnot, so it's got to be the dragon. And we're not going there, that is for certain. He's a bit too hard. So what we are going to do first is we are trying to deal with the bounty. And then go south of the map, check the rest of the map. There's not much to check. Then back to village. Return quest, do quest. Yeah, that's the plan. Maybe even we can get the Durgan's battery today. Who knows? Alright, we need to wake up somebody. Wake up somebody. So basically what we need to do is...
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Try to find dwarves. stick the
You gotta see this.
nice. Ooh. Oh, this is the spell book we were looking for. The one we were get a tattered note map. What was it? Was it a quest item? Yellow piece of parchment shows a rough drawing of cluster of trees, but little else. They could be anywhere in the white march. So yeah, you can examine this. I don't think I show it on the game, but yeah, you can examine it, and it shows it like so. And well, here it is. I totally forgot that. Fortunately, these guys found it. Oh, so many spells. So what is this? Infuse with Vital Essence. Plus 50 max endurance, plus 50 max health for the 63 seconds. Yeah. Arcane Dampener. Beneficial effect suspended 21 seconds. Yeah. Aloth Duplicate. Well, we always need more duplicates of Aloth. Two is not enough, so we need more. 37 for freeze damage, Nirang's Shadow Flame. Curious variant of ever popular Fireball. Freeze damage and paralyze anyone caught in the area of effect. Okay. Dimensional Shift. Stun for 7 seconds. Switches the location of the caster, one ally leaving shockwave between them that stuns all caught in the line of fire. Maybe not that useful most of the time, but maybe at times. Ninangal's Death Ray. This more powerful variant of the common Ray of Fire spell inflicts raw damage, attacks the target's fortitude, and only affects enemies. Huh. Well, that's not really bad. If it only affects enemies, so yeah, you can pretty much freely blast it. Blast of Frost. Creates a bitter surge of ice and freezing cold air, inflicting freeze damage on anyone caught in the conical area of effect. Well, that's too bad. Ninagaut's Freezing Pillar calls down an enormous spike of ice, pulsing freeze damage on enemies in the area of effect and creating an intense circle of frost that can hobble foes it touches. Okay. Arcane Reflection spell. Reflection 63 seconds. Creates a field of arcane energy around the caster, reflecting hostile target that spells up to 5th level back at their caster for a total of 15 spell levels. Oh, that's... So that would mean 3 level 5 spells. Maybe good against dragons, if they're attacking my spellcaster, of course. Ninangaut's Killing Pole. This spell inflicts a heavy amount of raw damage to the target. Any non-spirit felled by the attack will summon Spectre under the caster's control. So 79.5 raw damage. Dane's Chaotic Orb. Crush damage. Successful petrified, paralyzed, weakened, sickened, stunned, blinded. Applies the same target effect as a full target for jump targets times 5. Named for eccentric Aedaran Wizard Tane. The chaotic orb bounces between number of enemies, dealing damage and inflicting variety of negative affliction, including petrified, paralyzed, weakened, sickened, stunned, and blinded. That seems a decent crowd control spell. Of course, can I even cast those at the moment?
How may I help?
I don't think I can at the moment. Yeah.
Right here.
Lightning Strike, Finishing Blows. So, I'm still wondering where would... Now, oh. Huh, now they are there. Now they are there. So, as they are pressed, yes, So maybe that means when I put the armor on a character, I need to rest with the character to get those. Would make sense because otherwise we could game the system and use this armor, say with Aether first, then blow those spells, then take it off, give it to me, use the spells again, and rinse and repeat. So maybe you...
Of course.
Oh, I should have thought about that. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, what kind of a group of these bandits would be? I thought they would... Yeah, this seems like a place where they might be. I'm gonna change you on the level of party 2 because you're a shooter anyways most of the time. Okay, we found something over there. Urthal. A man stands on the middle of the road without lowering the blade that rests on his shoulder. He takes 2 steps forward as if to speak for the group behind him. I was hoping for another gift bearer. They always carry surprises, and we love surprises. Well, I got one for you, mate. By we, of course, I mean me and this. The man taps the hilt of his sword. It'll be quick. Try to stay still. So there's no talking away from this, but you do that. Well, team 1, stay. 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 Well, don't stay then. All right, we have activated with the defensive, yes. Now let's try this again. Like so. Yes, we could use with that too.
Lava.
Honestly, shoot. Okay, now you are doing your stuff. Where's Aloth? What would we like to do? Corrode damage. I kinda want to see that. So let's see. Okay, you are taking a heavy beating there. Hopefully you can heal yourself. Now, what else we could use? I kind of want to use the chain lightning, but that means I'll need to move you there. Now we can. That was nice. Mercenary Wizard is a bit angry, I would say. Aether is right over there. Well. That means we probably want to help Aloth. Also, why not? Well, Karak indeed is taking quite a beating. Mercenary Wizard is barely injured. This is not really helping that much. Yeah, I can see the problem with Karak. he doesn't really have the lasting. Aloth is taking a beating, obviously, because, of course. And he's down. Great. That was no surprise there. After all, I have no idea what's going on here. Who's who? I'm apparently there. Yes, you are here. Come on, knock this guy down. No, apparently you don't. You don't have enough points towards anything at the moment. Well. Well, honestly, we need to deal with the mercenary wizard. Please use the sword in it. Honestly, Come on, yep. Thank you. So how's the wizard doing? Decently. Are you doing something? I hope you are. What do we need to do now? Hopefully we can keep you alive. Probably not. Oh, we managed to do that. Oh, Mercenary Priest is definitely on our side at the moment. That is good. I think we managed to deal with the wizard.
Let's go.
Oh, Durance, you are dead, probably. Again. It shouldn't be that of a problem. I think we can still take these guys down. Keep on healing. If nothing else, you at least work as a distraction. Bloody hell, you're taking the beating here. Alright, Urthal is trying to kill you. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know. I'm healing him as fast as I can. So, do we have anything else to use? Sword. Well, yeah, I totally forgot that. Now, yeah, I don't care. Now we're done with that. So, Mercenary Priest kill. Okay, what can we do with you? I don't know what that... Maybe not. No. Maybe that. Come on. Could you, do faster? Unfortunately, you can't move, so we have to kill you. Yeah, these definitely are harder matches. Yeah. Well, it kinda worked. Not elegant, it was pretty much we were hammering it down, but it worked. Now, what do we have here? Gift bearer notebook. A recurring signature in the pages of this notebook indicates that it belonged to someone named Ishley. Oh, isn't that the one who was sent to North? The pages contain an assortment of entries, some notes, list collection of items alongside their purported value. Other pages are scribbled with notes about land. A map of russet wood marks an important body of water. Next to it, there are several underlined notes. They read: Notok Lokotol formerly formalities first, of course, and she'll come up. Kualamika, she's a good girl and likes to hear it before she swims down. Sit like Kuala, just make sure she likes the fish for a job well done. Huh? Have you been talking to fishers? What the hell? Fine rope, exceptional. Ooh. St. Edwin's Redeemer. No idea how good that is. We will see. Oh, it's a soul binding. Little less damage. What I do now. Accuracy lower. But 25% chance to cast destroy vessels on a hit or a critical hit. Now that is interesting. So yeah, let's put it on our hand. Mind soul. Deal 200 damage to spirit with St. Edwin's Redeemer or to unlock next level. 1000 damage to enemies with St. Edwin's Redeemer to unlock next level. Well, we are doing that. Obviously, we are not losing Tidefall. It's definitely been great weapon, and I think it's still more not honestly not that accurate. Only 4 points. But we'll have to see how the ooh, it has this effect here. But we will see once we get it to upgrade how it works.
Steady does it.
I probably should have used more spells, but well, that's the story of my life. Wait, what is this? The road continues climbing for a short distance before turning sharply down in the pass beyond. But yeah, that's the story of my life that I try to not use the spells, although I don't know why I didn't use it on that occasion. After all, we are pretty much going back to the village. So unless there's something horrible in this black area, then we should be good to go. Durance, oh bloody hell, you are pretty much dead, mate. Sprained wrist, of course. I'm surprised the Durance survived as long as it did. Well, pretty much it was healing him all together, but Karak went quite fast, unfortunately. Well, Aloth was something that definitely makes sense. So back to Stalwart Village. Don't know if that's a promising start or not. Again, bounties are harder battles. So there's that. So I'll go and sleep. Then we start to return quests and check other things through. So once I slept, I'll go get something to drink, and once we come back, we continue returning quests and whatnot. So we're back. Okay, so Karak wants to talk to us, so what she has to say, let's listen.
Village was a touch livelier when I saw it last. Ain't saying much, though.
So what do you remember about Stalwart?
Bitter cold and a persistent odor of fish. Now that were just the people.
Seems fair enough. Why did you want to come back anyway?
Anything's better than Galvino's workshop. You ain't heard the old buzzard sing.
I can imagine, yeah.
Anyway, what about you? We seen lots coming through, trying to crack the battery, but no watchers.
There's another group that passed through before me. I need to know what they were after.
Ah, looking for someone. That's a familiar yarn.
She nods slowly, rocking her head on broad, steady shoulders.
But don't let me keep you from the sights and sounds of Stalwart. They're easy to miss.
Anything else? Galvin said you murdered several people before he transferred you.
Effigy's eyes, that man loved to talk.
Well, you were there, you heard. So why did you do it?
If it's sane and logical reasoning you're wanting, you're gonna be disappointed. Ain't no sense in any of it.
I heard parts of your story from others. I'd rather hear the rest from you. What other stories? Well, let's ask. Oh, soft hissing noise comes from the bronze golem. You recognize it as a sigh.
Mayhap you've heard of Coldmoor. Was a quiet, forgettable patch of the woods. Till a pack of rabid clodhoppers set it afire.
That was the start of the purges. Dear Woodens killing their own.
So what exactly happened? As an embrace of heat flares from her seams as her essence surges and boils.
A farmer on the other side of the mountains woke up one day with his head all aflame and took it for the gibbering speech of his god. And so did a few thousand of his countrymen. So when he tired of Vorless fields and marched west, a horde of armed Hicks followed.
You're talking about Whiteman and the Saints' War?
Bunch of fool nonsense is what I'm talking about. But others have called it the same. If you know that much, then you've heard of Cold Morn. Ours was the village that let a few thousand of Widewind's troops pass through.
You were from Cold Morn? When I heard what happened out there after the war, I couldn't believe my ears.
Fine line between couldn't and wouldn't.
Why did he try to stop Red Sirens? You betrayed your countrymen. Well, we're not going that. Durwood and Saren, the folk at full sword, you must have known that wouldn't end well. Rational? I guess you didn't have much a choice. Well, I'll go with that. I kind of don't really... Why did he try to stop the Red Sirens? I don't understand. Let's go with the... I guess you didn't have much of a choice.
Try telling a few hundred crazed Dear Woodens. We got news of the Raid Sarens coming through the mountains. Begged the Duke for help, we did. Didn't send us so much as a bare-ass novitiate. They went to towns with full coffers and lofty connections. So we let Widewind soldiers pass. Left him for the Duke to wrangle on his own terms.
So Coldmorn was purged in retaliation?
Was after the Godhammer made a fine grit out of Widewind, when Deerwoodens were running on rage and looking for something to burn. They came at dark, hundreds of folk. Every one of them mourning someone lost in the war. Must have decided it was our duty to escort their dead back to the wheel. They didn't light their torches till they had us surrounded. Time we saw them, there was a ring of fire closing around us.
Burns, burns, burns. Ring of fire. Oh.
I woke. Ran to the window. Whole village were a maze of flames. Couldn't see nothing for the smoke. And the screams. Most ran for the streets. Got caught by the mob. Others hid, let their houses burn down around them.
Well, we are not going with the cruel. What did you do to survive? What does that have to do with your crimes? Well, I kind of can see, but what did you do to survive?
Ran, fought, hid, burned. Same as my neighbors and family. Just luckier.
So I guess we have to ask this. What does that have to do with your crimes?
Hunting down the men and women what took part. Thought that much was clear.
Yeah, that was quite clear, but my character apparently didn't put two and two together. But you only killed people who attacked Goldmorn, right? You couldn't have hoped to get them all. Let's go with that.
Well, we just gotta do our best with what time the gods give us, don't we?
Yeah, maybe. I'm impressed. Now we can go with the cruel.
I'd have been more pleased myself if I hadn't gotten caught like this. And if I'd gotten through a few more first. It were a mob that destroyed our village. But it was just one man that burned my family's house. Kept hoping I'd get to him as I was working my way through the rest of those maggots. No matter now, I suppose.
So I guess he's the companion quest for her, so we are going to find the one who got away. You and Galvina had an unusual relationship.
Only kind of have with someone like him. Or me.
Did you ever consider murdering him?
Every day. Just kept putting it off. It's not like either of us was going anywhere.
Well, you resent him. Well, kinda obvious.
No other way to feel about the man who flayed my living soul.
How long have you two known each other?
Around about 13 years. Too long, you ask me.
He claimed he made you.
He'd spread butter on bread and claim he made something. Never been accused of modesty, that man. He managed to stuff my soul into this heap of bronze, true enough. Maybe that makes him a genius. Also makes him a son of a bitch.
So, what exactly did you do for him? She regards you for several seconds. She shrugs.
Looked after his tools, cleaned the workshop, swung the sledgehammer. Oh, and snatched up travelers for his soul tinkering.
The other golems, you mean?
But don't you worry. They were all bad folk.
Fine by me.
Just so you know, you got a real professional working for you.
Anything else?
Yeah, I had enough of him too.
So why did you want to come with me?
Stalwart's great this time of year. Beareth spells in bloom for a good 5 days, and the mountain squall actually blows the fish stench away from town.
And?
Better than staying at Galvino's anyway.
Well, that's true, but I don't think that's the only reason. Aloth arches an eyebrow and leans close. I've lived with secrets long enough to know when someone's hiding something. Thank you, Aloth. Thank you for your input, yes. The black marbles of her eyes scrape against their sockets as she looks at you. So, I get the feeling you're not welcome in Starwood.
I got a reputation. People in these little villages ain't the most open-minded.
Did you murder someone here?
Not yet.
Ooh, tempting, tempting. Durgan's battery?
Just 'cause I'm made of metal don't mean I got any special fondness for smiths and forges.
Do you know anything about it?
No more than what Galvino already told you.
Fine. Any thoughts on which villagers I should check?
For fancy dwarven poetry? None of them ever struck me as especially literate. So whichever you can stand to get close to. And that's on you. I lost my sense of smell 13 years ago.
Okay. Do you remember any of the other expeditions that came to Galvino?
Nothing specific. Everyone looks about the same when they got their fingers up their noses. Only the last group, one before you, there was something different about them.
Yeah, I bet there was, yes.
Couldn't put my finger on it, but they was dangerous. Almost felt the hair on the back of my neck. Ain't felt that way about anyone else. Till you walked through Galvino's door, that is.
I think she means that as a compliment. Thank you, Aloth.
Murder, tracking, and the best materials for kindling. Those are more my area of expertise.
So, what was your life like before the Saints' War?
There weren't much to say about it. By my reckoning, that means it was pretty good. Ma was a trapper, taught me to set snares and dress game. Dad was a tinker. I never had his patience, but it were fun to watch him work. My brothers and sister, they was good folk too. Part of me's glad they ain't here to see me now.
That is all for now, yes. When I went to bed, I actually saw something hair-freak here.
Back to warm your hand, Jay.
We have
What
these.
can I do for you?
Read his soul. You see a room, dark and damp, a cellar. It looks like part of the inn rather than an old fortress. Through Haefric's eyes, you admire rows of gleaming bottles, recently dusted and polished. As you step back from the shelves, you look on with satisfaction at the pressure plate concealed in the stone floor.
You got the look of someone with his teeth around a secret.
Her cold fingers are locked around your arm. Okay.
My, but it's gotten warm in here.
You all right? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know.
You will serve me. What else now, Carrack?
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look back there.
You don't say.
What do you find when you're rooting around like that?
The fabric of soul.
Yeah? And I'll bet you could do the same to anyone in this village. Easy as looking at him.
Yes. Quit circling around and just spit it out. You want me to search somebody's soul. So what do you want to know?
Mayhap I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmke.
Tell me why you want to find Harmke. Probably because she wants to know if he was the guy setting the house ablaze.
So I can kill him. Wrap my fingers around his throat till he's as cold as his wretched village. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn.
So if you know, why do you need me?
I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business.
You want me to help you murder someone? It's been 13 years and you're still after him. I'm with you, tell me what I need to know about... Yes, I'm with you, tell me what I need to know about him.
This man, Harmke. I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames the way I seen you stare into souls. I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn. But if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy.
So how can you be so sure about this Harmke fellow?
I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them.
What does this have to do with me? Probably she wants make it certain.
I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure. But you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all.
Finding out might be getting your hopes up. How would you feel about solid hunch instead? Well, I'll do what I can.
Mighty fine of you. Mighty fine indeed. Don't know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
Thank you. Are we done now? Do you know...
Back to warm your hands, eh?
do
What
you
can
know-
I do for you?
Do you know a man named Harmke?
The woodcutter? Sure do. Head west from the village, then go north. If you see the frozen stream, you've gone too far. Usually works a stand of trees out in the russet wood, though he steps out from time to time.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Don't worry, we're not looking to murder him or anything.
Right. That was easy. That was really easy. I'm kind of tempted to see if there's something changed in the downstairs because we saw the pressure plate or something like that. But before that, obviously, there you are.
You look like you've been in the wilds.
I found your
See
goods.
my wagon out there?
Yes.
You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough. But I hope you'll take this.
Fair enough. I'll take my reward then.
Here, as promised. Thanks
Sure.
again. With a little luck, I'll trade these blizzards in for a sea breeze soon enough.
Oh, well, I'll take it, yeah. So I kind of want to go and check the downstairs if something changed there. I love the music in this game. Maybe it was just the traps he saw. Yeah, it's got to be. I'm fairly certain my characters would find whatever they might be. But yeah. Alright, now we have... Maybe one of the dwarves, you know, the old lady, the mining. Well, maybe... Oh, right, we need to return one of the quests. Hello, Teal'dor. Wait. Wait. Oh, bloody hell, we don't have his head. We have to go back. Okay. Wait a moment. Once I come back, I hopefully have the bastard's head. So we'll go and get the head from Durgan's battery, and I'll run quickly back here because apparently somehow I missed the head. So, we're back. Well, I probably should have checked the journal first because the guy who we killed is not the bounty. Bounty is Metzla and her sister, band of worshippers of Berat have been spotted in the wilds that surrounds Durgan's battery. Those were just, you know, random bandits. Well, not that random, but random enough. Would it be night now? So could we... It seems as it would be a night. So maybe we could go and check what's happening here. Hopefully we can do this now. No, I don't think this is a night, you know, because people. So what are we exactly doing here? Ripples point somewhere in the fishery. He want me to search the building at night when all fishermen have gone home. So it's definitely not night. The problem is, of course, I'll have to... Is there a way to wait certain hour? Well, yeah, we can actually...
First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets to stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that had been hounding me, so that worked out at least.
Yeah, bloody hell, it's morning already. So we'll have to do something else to make the time go by. Let's return the quest to you.
I hope you've had some luck. And do take care with that device. It has a few rather delicate components.
I'm afraid I didn't find anything. I walked over the mountain. Yeah, I didn't find any ore deposits, but I did find this.
What? So it works? What a day! But why these gems? I didn't think the device would be able to pick up inert Audra. Fascinating.
Okay.
I have to study this further. But all the same, it worked! At last! A breakthrough! With that Audra to work from, I can refine the enchantments. We'll be digging up iron, gold, Audra, all of it!
I'm keeping the gems. These gems looks pretty valuable. I'll go with the gems looks pretty valuable.
Huh? Oh, I see. But they're far more important as evidence than as trinkets. I can't possibly offer you what Iterin can, but I can give you what coin I do have.
Yeah, you are.
This is going to change everything. Oh, and I won't leave you empty-handed, of course. Here, I had this set aside for supplies, but I don't think I'll be staying in Stalwart much longer. I won't forget all you've done for me. They'll hear about this back home, I promise you. Who knows? Perhaps they'll name the next battery after you.
Sure. So, what else do we need? Well, we need to find them old soul, but we could go and deal with the woodcutter because it's quite close by. It shouldn't take too long. Because I'm fairly certain it's right over here. Yeah. It's him, Harmke. I remember that weak chin and those noble knees. A weak chin and noble knees. Can't be too many people matching that description.
How goes?
Again, had I known that we start talking right away once we come to here, I probably would have done it a bit different, but hopefully we can deal with the woodcutters. The Elven man emerges into the clearing and freezes staring at the devil of Karak. For an elf, he's tall and ranchy, with a weather-beaten face beneath stingy, greasy hair. The others with him turn glaring and gaping at the bronze golem.
Auroch's shadow! What's that wicked thing doing here?
We are saving your sorry village. I'll go with that,
Are you mad? With that murderer?
says the chinless cur who burnt down the village.
Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Bits of sweat have warmed on his forehead despite the chilly air.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
He looks at the devil with mixture of terror and loathing in Las Vegas. Enough. What you see in Teresa is that the man who torched us. Well, let's read Harmke's soul. He steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through his trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories, snow-shrouded forests partitioned by fallen pines and firs, days measured by the steady swing of your axe. There are other moments too. Recollections that flare up like hearts welcoming fire. Children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of rowdy energy of youth. Together you scatter winter bloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Harmke's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you are other men and women holding other torches, and the mountain air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows of the others. It's been fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You're at the edge of that down, cold morn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crested windows, and haunted faces peer out at you through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then, a door slams. A villager comes racing through the streets, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves toward him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shattering your ranks like the bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat from your torch nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers, a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of your fellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all came with purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Cold Morn. The next few hours are painted in colors more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs. It is as if Magran herself whispers in your ear and guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town, one of the only buildings that hasn't already burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees, and the door is painted yellow. Yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the color of cowardice. Just then, someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, someone you remember from the journey to Cold Morn. Though you can't recall his name, he snarls at you, mad with indiscriminate rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaken you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell about the roar of the riot. Harmke shivers as you pull away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, what did you say? Well, it's not that simple. Well, he burned down your house. He stares at Harmke. You hear only whirring mechanism in her throat, but Harmke leans closer.
What did you say?
Well, you burned the house, didn't you? What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried, what did they feel like? A wild, inhuman scream echoes out of bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Harmke and his companions to their knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and crank as she rushes at him. Yeah, I kinda realized this would go like so. The problem is, of course, oh, Harmke is over there. Where am I? Come on. That's you. Oh, I am here. Attack that. You attack this. Maybe two Harmke.
Aye?
Let's see how this evolves. Okay, it's like so now. Maybe like so. You go with... Can I get you 3 of you?
Ah, heck, word that.
Now. Yeah. Well, it was just a woodcutter, so that was a bit easier. Oh, right. We're taking damage.
Do you cease to see me?
All right. What do we have here? Taxes collected for lost 488 and 706. Okay, good. What did we get? Money? Okay. Garak, you happy?
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach the ink black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the throes of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
Some men don't last long. How do you feel now? She says nothing at first, and you hear only the dull clicking of something in her chest.
I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands, smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hands in front of herself as they twitch and spasm.
And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmke under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
And I say nothing.
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a patter of rain to me.
Trust me, he's definitely dead. Can't you just pretend? That's anticlimactic. What do you mean? Well, let's ask.
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmke's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull.
She flexes and unflexes, and unflexes her fingers in a few lightning quick motions.
All it did was remind me.
Of what?
That this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of her, examining the scroll work on the backs of her hand with horror and wonder. You're right, that sounds awful. Pain and pleasure or distraction, you are lucky to avoid them. Come on, now it can't really be as bad as all that. Your body has unique strengths and advantages too. After 13 years, can't you get used to it? Well, let's be rational. Your body has unique strengths and advantages too.
I'd trade them all if I could feel the snow cold around my ankles.
Yeah. But you can't, so you have to just, either kill yourself or live with that, what you have now.
I still dream I'm folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
I see. If you don't quit complaining, I'll think up something worse for you. Well, at least you're alive, that's something. Unlike Harmke here, which you wouldn't have caught if they wouldn't have changed you this?
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies. When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long. Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No, they snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
This is weird. He's the one who transferred your soul. Well, you already established that fact. What was he doing there? Galvino was living in Stalwart at the time. Well, what was he doing there?
He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
What did the mayor have to do with this?
He'd agreed to hand me over to Galvino for an experiment. Claimed it was a fair punishment, but the townfolk weren't too pleased at being denied their stone pitching. Didn't help that they heard the jangle of copper in that deal. In the end, that's what sent Galvino and the old mayor packing.
I see.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
Please go on.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
This was the suit you inhabit now, you mean? Did you know what they intended?
I had this terrible cold feeling in my gut, but I still couldn't figure. I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look, but they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen. Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body. By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
What happened there? I heard the old man cackling and chattering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream, tried to swing at him. What happened actually there? Why the voice acting disappeared?
I think that was when I knew.
That's weird. Maybe that was a bug, because that seemed a bit off. Anyways, and that's how you ended up here. Well, it's over now. Well, that's how you ended up here.
Sure enough, and how Galvino ended up in that little shack. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the army Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Harmke, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
I guess that is correct, yes. She says it in an often teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a rivet.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. And it ain't often I meet someone who understands my leanings so well. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
Douglas Battery, what about it? She's quiet, fixated on her squeaking joint.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a goose that's laying golden eggs or something like that.
Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson, and all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
They're all fools. An abandoned fortress won't solve anyone's problems. Well, let's go with that, but I kind of think it will help the village, but we'll go with that. Her words die in her throat with a sound like a creaking door.
You're right. Let's go.
Well, yeah, we dealt with that. So the time is, if we're lucky, it might be night-ish once we go back to the Stalwart village. 8 hours, so it might be night. Because if I understood correctly, there's no way to me to just say that rest to the midnight and work from that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see, we'll see. Honestly, I thought we would have to find more of those iron deposits or rocks with that machine. But it was just a one-off. Ah.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
There is oil, we might as well take it. Now we can take those two so we can sell them. This other net appears to have been set aside for mending. Arda's bracelet, this bracelet, yeah, okay, thank you. You reach into the barrel and find a bracelet. A thick aura of essence clings to it. Fresh with memory, you feel yourself drawn into it. In the memory, you stride into the fishery. The floors are swept clean, but the wood is still splotched with snowmelt and fish guts. A man hunkers in the corner, his head nodding forward as if in sleep. He looks up drowsily as you approach. It's Grinde. His face is youthful but sallow, and his hair hangs in stringy locks. You feel a pang of anger and pity at your brother's debauchery.
Arda.
His voice is a little more than a croak.
It's past midnight.
Your throat feels tight. Grinde wipes at his nose and examines the mingled blood and powder on the back of his hand. He shrugs. Your fingers clench around coarse, thick fabric. Your father's best war cloak tucked under your arm.
Go! To raid Ceres, or Defiance Bay, or fucking Air Glonfoth, I don't care!
You hurl it at the ingrate huddled on the floor. He picks up the cloak and looks at it with the same sort of dull wonder. He wipes his nose on the lining. A sudden rush of fury leaves your limbs weak and raw.
I'll tell them. Mayor Sina healed. The neighbors, everyone.
You force these words through your teeth.
But what?
He mumbles, turning his words from a morass of snot and saliva.
The stealing. You think I haven't noticed the money missing from the fishery coffers? Or heard Tana talk about losing a golden duke?
You whisper, afraid even now that someone will overhear you, and the words scorch your throat.
You can't be found when there's work to do, but every time those merchant wagons roll into town, you've got coin enough for a few bags of ripple sponge.
No, it's not.
He rubs his red-rimmed eyes. Your own grow warm and blurry. Okay.
Stalwart tolerates your sponge habit, but they won't abide your thieving.
You touch your bracelet, a gift from Mother, plucking at the beads.
You won't.
He rises steadier on his feet than you would have thought.
I will.
You stride toward him. Oh, weird again. I wouldn't have shamed Mother and Father while they was living, but I won't let this keep up. Your anger swallows the last of your pity. Anger at him for putting you in this position, for doubting your resolve, for failing to see. You're close enough to smell his stale, sour breath when he pushes you. You fall, watching his widening eyes and the ceiling spinning into your vision. Isn't this just like him? Grinde with his fool tantrums, never thinking of anybody but himself, and now you're going to be nursing a headache for a week. Just goes to show you can't help some people, but you remember him too. But you remember him to your baby brother running through the snow, slipping, falling on ice, and you're slipping, falling, and then there's stable behind you, but it shouldn't. The memory ends abruptly, jolting you back into the present with your heart hammering and your palms sweating. Oh, so he accidentally killed his sister. Grinde. The fishery door creaks open and in walks Grinde, staring at you and the bracelet. In surprise and outrage, his face drains of color.
You take shelter in our village and then ransack it like a common thief? You'd better explain yourself.
Galvino told me you were a rebel sponge addict. Seems you're much more than that.
Any who put stock in the ravings of that bitter old fool deserve all the trouble they get.
He raises his voice, half turning to the guard with him. You killed your sister Arda, right here in this room. He opens his mouth to reply, but the words catch in his throat. The guard next to him stares at the bracelet, recognition turning to horror.
Worth coming back for this alone.
It was an accident. I was a failure and a wretch then. But I never would have killed anyone. Least of all my own kin.
He turns his gaze down, offering his apology to his own clenched fist. What do you mean, say nothing, listen? And, of course you'd say that, anyone in your position would. How can you expect me to believe something like that? I'll go with the say nothing and listen.
I gave her body to the lake. But I kept her bracelet. To remember the cost of my own weakness.
He loosens his hands and stares at the emptiness in his leathery palms.
I ain't asking for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve any. My penance is my work on behalf of the village. And they need it, truly. You ain't exactly one to get invested in other people's problems. Turn me in. Let me go. What's it matter to you? Let me do the work Arda would have done. That's my debt to Stalwart. And the only fitting way to honor my sister.
He looks up his eyes bright and clear. Don't seem the bracelet very well. He has take the bracelet. Pay me and the bracelet is yours. No, you can't get away with this attack. I'd rather end you now. That's interesting. Nah, pay me. He shivers with disgust but recovers himself.
Fine. I trust this will be enough. Thank you for your compromise. Now, I expect we're finished with this.
For now, yes. Kinda tempted to kill him too, but I'll go with the money. It's not much, honestly. 500 copper pieces. Bloody hell. But I don't think I wouldn't get anything with the fighting too. Ring finger. Rewards 25 experience. Nidian finger. 500 to 1000 copper in treasure. Expires in 25 hours. Nidian was a Clanvatan murderer who was notorious for both his brutality and his ability to avoid capture by the tribe's best hunters. When he was finally captured and put to death, his body was buried in a secret place near Kliabandrila. Ariov had given the unusual recommendation in the hopes that the Engvitan rune would capture the killer's soul and prevent it from returning to the wheel. During a recent cleansing celebration, an Olan child stumbled across Nidhen's grave. Not realizing what she had found, she told her parents, who guessed what it was and in turn told other members of their tribe. Within a day, Nidhen's burial site had been plundered by a few foolhardy Clanfatans, the body carried away for ritual purposes. All that remains was the ring finger from his right hand. The Anamfatha oppose the use of Nidhen's body for preparing sacred objects and will reward anyone who can return it to them. So, Sagani, you'll deal with well... Manea. Okay, are we done? Well, we haven't found the helm. I guess it's got to be somewhere around Durgan's battery or inside the Durgan's battery. This we can't do because I'm fairly certain it's the dragon. Because that's the only possibility. No idea. We haven't seen hide nor hair about the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. It actually could be in White March Part 2 because there's no other maps at the moment. That's that. So, before we continue, I'll go take a quick break. So I think I go and meet Taina and see if she is some soul I could wake up. I don't know who else. Well, it could be pretty much anyone, but I'll start Taina, maybe then go to the village if that doesn't work. So once we're back, we're inside the Taina's house. So we're back. Here we are at Taina's house. Let's see. By the way, yeah, Fisherman Penance. It's already open. Brenda paid me for myself. Oh, Calvino will be disappointed. But we pretty much done. It's done. So I could go and inform Galvino, which, well, he would be apparently disappointed, so who cares? We might do that. So, anywho, can we waken up you?
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
Let's read her soul. You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality and a set of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. I guess we found one of the right ones. You're standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Zenove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear an agreement in the quiet murmur of the others. But Warden Maron ordered you to hold your ground here. Yet in those rising whispers, you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing it into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. The acrid odor of urine rises from his body.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse from hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down in the flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and few swords, but they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse bounds at your temples. You pull back from Taina's soul, but you feel Zenove's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence thrashes, lashing out an unseen enemy. Zenove is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old and threatening memories. You consider that there may be others you could awaken. Oh, this is a point where I can decide whether I awaken her or I go and look for another. But I'm tempted to just go with this and see how it goes. Taina, however, seems unaware of any of this, and she blinks back at you with cloudy, placid eyes. So, okay, so we can go around village and check around other people who we can awaken. And that clearly demonstrates that with her, there might be a risk. But then what is the reward? Maybe. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. Who knows? Anyways, I'll take the risk. Well, it doesn't hurt me. It probably hurts her if we fail, but, you know. You have to break some eggs. So awaken, Zenove, you and remember your battle in the feast hall. A tremor passes through Taina's face, and then her rumpled skin goes slack. After a racking cough, she blinks like someone slowly coming to consciousness.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it?
Your eyes have grown unusually clear. What have you done to her, Isidore? I need to enter the Durgan's battery. It's the price the village is probably willing to pay if they want to open the bloody door.
What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrun would so easily betray her own people?
Her hands clench and unclench around an imaginary weapon. Zenova's essence stirs with the same battle-ready furor you sense in her memory from Durgan's battery. She's dangerous. Beneath Zenova, China's overwhelmed consciousness struggles. I mean no harm, Zenova. You died long ago. The last of your people disappeared hundreds of years ago. There's nothing left to betray. I'll go with that. Zenova's rage is a heavy fog that clots and thickens, choking Diana's fading consciousness. Zenova herself is overwhelmed, and she forces Diana's eyes into narrow slits.
Lies! Arms Warden Maroon will see you cast into the White Forge.
You're mistaken. Calm down.
You'd rob us of our steel and leave us bleeding.
She doubles over, coughing and convulsing. Zenova at last overwhelms Diana, screaming through the old woman's mouth. In that instant, Zenova's psyche expands, filling you with a lifetime's worth of memories and experiences, including a set of verses that you know to be the cantic of Durgan's battery.
Hammers of Durgan, ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery, safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidun's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore.
It's too much for Diana's dying consciousness. It shrivels and vanishes as Zenova, now in full control of Diana's body, attacks. Whoops. Well, that didn't work out. So... Oh, that's for the penance. So... Damn. Well... I'm fairly certain there's a way to avoid her not to be killed. I'm guessing there are some checks. Maybe I choose poorly with the... Well, probably I did. But we'll go with that. The hunt for Nidhen's remains proved difficult as the clan Fatans lied incessantly to cover for those who were responsible. And Olon Brishalgvin helped Maneha sort the truth out, eventually recovering every part of the dead murderer's body. Though the clan Fatans were more than willing to lie about what they had done, none of them turned violent when Maneha and Brishalgvin confronted them. And Anamfath ordered the Brishalgvin to bury the body in the new location that was less well-traveled than the paths of near Kliavan Rilag. Upon returning to Kednua, Maneha realized that the Anamfath had never asked for Nidhen's ring finger to be returned. Experience 934, some money and item. Nidhen finger plus 3 constitution, that's not bad. Tied to a simple letter code, this finger once belonged to notorious clan Fatan murderer. I'll have to remember those at some point. So that's that. Well... So, we have some things to do around the Durgan Battery. Metzla, obviously. Maybe Garrod's Chorus. And now we can open the Durgan's Battery. So, I'll go to see our recluse and tell him what I did with our fisherman here. He probably hates it. But once I'm there, we will continue from there. And yeah, see you soon. We're back. Here we are, meeting the Galvino, who probably didn't enjoy what I decided. So let's see.
The devil has not scorched you yet, eh? Perfetto.
I have news about Grinder.
Yes? Does the sniveling cur hide in his home? Or has he been exiled to a place even more frigid and foul?
I learned that he murdered his sister.
Diverus! The man is even more of a wretch than I thought!
His face glows with macabre delight.
What of him now? Surely the villagers string him up with his own fishing line.
Nope. I decided not to shame him after all.
Madiko! How could you let him go? That man is a fraud, a wastrel. Go. I need to collect myself.
Yeah, I see that like that. I don't know what we would have gotten if we did what he wanted. Probably nothing too interesting. Or maybe we managed to miss a once-in-a-lifetime super-duper magic item. Anyways, we'll continue when I'm closer to the area we haven't checked. We have a 1/4 or less of the map to uncover from the Durgan's battery before we even try to enter. So once I'm closer to the area where we can continue exploring, I'll see you there. So we are not in Durgan's battery. We have a slight change of plans because I just realized I did complete Devil of Karak's personal quest, and I kinda would have someone who actually survives a little bit more in the front lines than Devil of Karak. Sagani was something I was tempted to take, so we would have a very nice ranged people. But I decided it's Palagina. We need... wait, what is this? What the hell happened here? I changed this. Why are you in the front line? Because it was supposed to be like this. I don't know why it sometimes feels like it changes on its own. Because I definitely changed that after I took Palagina with me. Now, before we enter Durgan's battery, we are going to pull this out because it's a lovely S-stock and I think Palagina needs it and we have to uncurse it. I think I have a faint recollection. It's just going through places, if I remember correctly, which is tedious, but fortunately for you guys, it's just a blink of an eye. Anyhow, first things first, we are gonna level up her, so let's do that first. We'll be right back. Well, 1 point in lore, and then I decided I didn't realize I hadn't taken the two-handed style, so grants damage bonus while wielding a two-handed melee weapon, and she's using those quite a lot, so yeah, that's fine. So let's level her up. I think, this is the last one, so be right back. So, 1 point in lore, and sworn enemy, 1 per encounter, marks enemy as a focus of the Paladin's Righteous Fury, so 20% more damage and 15 accuracy against the marked target. I think that is fine. Now, Palagina, would you kindly pull that sword? Yes, examine the area. The alcove, stone pedestal, are little more than dilapidated ruins. Yes, there's what little of it you can see appears to be in better condition. It seems odd that anyone would leave it here. However, as you get close to it, you hear what sounds like screams and shouts, tormented souls. So pull it. Who will go? Well, obviously, Palagina. Crosses under the falls, gasping beneath the cold water, shivering breaths echo in the small chamber. Patterns of falling water flicker across the blade as Palagina approaches it. Palagina grips the hilt. Here, the hate, fear, and violence of dozen mad, gibbering voices fills Palagina's mind. Palagina shudders through the wave of mental pain, struggling to hold the voices back. Grunts and cries of agony ring through the tiny space. Keep holding on. Palagina maintained a tight grip on the sword, arms shaking with effort. Eventually, Palagina regains measure of focus through the clamoring voices. So let's continue. Yet, just as Palagina's breathing steadies and the cacophony subsides, something pulls Palagina's arms forward. It suddenly looks as if Palagina is holding a heavy and painful burden. Palagina could probably pull the S-stock free, but it will be taxing without careful effort. Well, let's inspect it. Fine sturdy steel peering closer, Palagina sees part of the poem written along the blade. This traitor's fate to sleep and never rest, whilst knowledge of his deed stays lodged within his breast. But earnest penance heals us the sorrowful man, and the worthy actions stay the executioner's hand. Brace against the pedestal to pull the S-stock out. Baldur climbs on the top of the pedestal, adopts the white stance for better leverage. Draw. After a much of straying, struggling Baldur pulls the S-stock free. Sweat covers Baldur's face and shaking limbs. Yet when Baldur tries to release the weapon, it remains stuck in Baldur's fingers. I don't know why I go there. Something within the weapon grasps the Baldur's soul, binding to it. Some kind of a writing glows from the blade. Now we have the Grey Sleeper. Here's damage reduction bypass, cannot be... So think about this, cannot be unequipped. So Baldur here is walking around, his hands clench all the time with the Grey Sleeper. Even if he sleeps, the sword is in his hands. Well, probably not, but yeah. This S-stock has smooth, sturdy blade that tapers needle sharp point. The groans of a dozen tortured souls ring from the metal, binding the weapon to the hand of its wielder for so long as the curse persists. A few verses are etched along the blade. Yes, we know. A new verse appeared when the blade was drawn from the pedestal. It reads, "Seek the whirling aged made of copper, Adra stone. Awaken first your essence so that you may atone." So this could mean those Adra machines, they are copper, Adra and stone. So I see at least maybe one. Oh, you are fatigued. Well, that's okay. We will sleep. So what I'm thinking, and I know it's a long shot, still at least, there's the Adra. Well, there's one in Heritage Hill too. Huh. But I think still at least is easier to access. So that may be copper, Adra, and stone. Yeah, I think maybe that. So once I'm at Silentlis, we'll see you there. Fortunately, I should be able to jump from here. So we're back. So here we are. I just noticed one funny thing. Even I have the fatigue, although I wasn't the one who was pulling the sword. Harling Payday, okay. Now let's hope I was correct. What are we supposed to do? Okay. The S-stock seems to hum as it nears the Engvitan machine. Something arcs between the steel blade and the Adra core of the ancient device. The voices in the S-stock grow quieter and the weapon feels more powerful. New writing appears along the blade. Well, of course. 10% chance to cast Paralyze on hit. Slow spirits. Minus 60% attack speed to minus 2.5 move speed for 15 seconds. Not really that bad. New words. Okay. Find the sun-kissed hillocks where the dead folk sleep. Rest beside their wasting flesh. Inspect what dreams you reap. Cemetery? Would that mean the Heritage Hill? It would be hill, there's dead folk. I'll try. So, Heritage Hill it is, and we'll see you there. Be right back. Here we are. Oh, by the way. Dundrid Pseon has arrived seeking employment. He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road. But your patrols intervened, so he's, no, thank you. And I think we have, yes, we have a camping supplies here. I guess. Do I need to literally be somewhere over here, or is it enough I sleep this place? I might make a save. Let's see. So if I understood correctly, we should sleep just in the cemetery, and that should work. Let's go with the vessel. Yeah. Okay, we don't need that. The loamy soil squashes underfoot and something invisible seems to rise from it. You detect essence, faint and barely perceptible, drifting up from the graveyard. The Grey Sleeper seems to feed on it, and the strange voices grow quieter still. Another verse gleams in the steel. Fingers of the world, Adra strong and whole, kneel before the pillars, bring order to your soul. Adra fingers? Ah. Well, there are fingers on my castle courtyard. Maybe it means that. Do I need to go to the dungeons, or is it enough just to check around on the ground? We'll see. That's the only thing I can think of it now. 5% chance to cast Invoke Vessels on hit. Summons 1 to 3 of Dargul, Ghoul, Revenant, Human Skeleton, and Wicht. Okay. It's only 5%, but if you spank enough, it should be nice. Oh, by the by, let's take this. So how does it compare the one you had? Yeah. Definitely better. Definitely better. So, let's go to Gadnua and hopefully it's the right place. At least there's Finger of Address Stone. So, yeah. At least I go check it out. So, we're back.
Fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
Yeah, definitely the building style is not good for the cannons. That's why they changed to more lower walls and a bit different. Anyways. One side of this pillar is graven with hundreds of worlds and riches, even under the layer of crimes most the other claims. Okay. Oh, no. Wait, that didn't flash before. A deep and mighty power emanates from the Adra pillar. It resonates in the Grey Sleeper. Well, I guess I kneel. As you kneel, the voices in the Grey Sleeper reach low, peaceful harmony. A final surge of energy fills the blade and the voices fall silent. You feel the gears snap like a rotten cord. The Grey Sleeper. All soulbound upgrades complete. It's superb. Plus 12 accuracy, plus 45 damage. A 5% chance to cast Twin Stones. Nice. 20 crush damage, accuracy plus 10 vs deflection. Full AoE, 25 to 40 pierce damage. So 10% chance to paralyze per hit, 5% chance to cast Invoke Vessels per hit or critical hit, and 5% chance to cast Twin Stones on hit or critical hit. That's... okay. 2 final lines appear along the blade of the Esther. A penance now complete, a burden now a gift. Keep this weapon at your side to remind you your shrift. That is one hell of a Esther. I don't know if that's the best Esther you can get in the game. Probably it is. So now we can obviously change, but how does it compare? 83 primary, 71, 23 to 33. Yeah. Yeah, definitely better. Definitely better. There's no question about it. So finally, she has something worthwhile. Did you have any deflection? What did... Okay, I'll have to do a little inventory management. Probably take some of the stuff from the Devil of Garrock. Maybe the deflection gloves and the rings. And see what I can do to make her a little bit even more sturdier. I kind of hate when you have to take... Well, it's understandable, but... no. But it's still a bit annoying to... go through the hassle of changing people so you can take the different stuff. That's one of the reasons why it's a bit annoying when you have so lately new characters. Because honestly, this is not something she really needs. What did this do? Reflex. So I was thinking... No. What was it? I could go with the Constitution one. Anyways, I'll do the mixing things. So once I'm done with the inventory management and whatnot, we'll be back in the Durgan's battery. I promise this time. So be right back. So finally, here we are. Basically what I'm thinking, I'll check around the outside quite a lot before we go inside. Well, what do we have in here? Nothing new to report. Not seriously. Okay. Good.
Laying low.
And Pallegina should be... Well, what did I give her? Let's check. I decided to give her Troll Hide Belt, so it gives 1 endurance per 3 seconds. Probably not that great, but honestly... I could have given her 1+1 dexterity, but again, it's probably not something she really needs. Devil of Karok, for her, it probably looks better. What did this? Healing bonus, well, maybe a bit better. But we really don't have that many belts. So I changed the deflect ring to braces of deflection. So now her deflection is 70. You are 90. I'm 74. So pretty decent-ish. I still have a little bit more, but that's because I'm the boss. Anyways, we should be now pretty good go. Maybe. And I actually realized why this changed. It's good to know now. Basically, when I made these formations and put it like so, then I decided, oh, I'm gonna move the Pallegina's portrait to here, where it should be. When you move them here, it changes also in here. So there's that. Hello. Hello. I'm attacking that. How many? Well, the problem is I don't really know how many there will be.
Hi.
You could actually start casting that. You'll just shoot. So you... Now the question is, maybe we go all... Oh. Okay, that's fine. Now, Alot. That works. Oh, Slicken is something I probably should use too. How close I have to be? Even closer? Now it should work. Now, Aloth. Now this is a bit of problematic. I'll have to be... It would seem that I'll hit everybody else except my enemies. Yeah, definitely. And that means... no.
Yeah.
You attack Metzla. Honestly, get that going.
Hmm.
So, well, yeah. Now, please heal. Are you?
I'm ready.
Are you actually
Your thoughts
attacking?
must flow deeply indeed.
Thank you.
Well, this is weird. We're in a weird situation now. Metzla is on our side for now. Either go against. Well, you don't. You don't have the time to go against the wizard. And now the Metzla is not enough. Oh, bloody hell. That was a bit annoying.
What?
That domination wasn't really something I kinda would have wanted to happen there. After all, we were trying to kill her, but anyways. Let's kill the monk, please. Kill the monk. Okay, monk is dead. Priestess. Aloth. Heal. Yeah, Aloth is pretty much dead. Because... Well, maybe not. I kinda hope that works only enemies. Yeah, that only works on the enemies. Okay, good. Now... You might want to heal Aloth here. Honestly, Metzla. A little bit that. Now the question is, because I used the sworn enemy on Metzla, but she was for a while on our side. I guess the sworn enemy doesn't work anymore, which is a bit annoying. But can you knock down her? I have no idea what happened there, but we'll see. Move forward, thank you. And let's see, what kind of a thing is this? I have no idea. Okay, I guess it hit her. So, Palagina, me, Durans. Oh, I think we've dealt with this group.
Let's go.
Oh, you're still alive. And now you're friendly. And now you're not. Damn, she took a beating. Well, yeah, that worked. That kind of worked. Forgotten Tear of the Beloved. Unique flail. You might be able to use that. You take the wizard bow. So we have just fine Morningstar, fine dagger, wand, fine, and head. Okay. And more fine stuff. Okay. Now. So. Unforgiven does more. Same thing, Graces converted to hits is similar. Then there's a chance on cast Dazing on hit. Grants prayer against treachery per rest. Suppress affliction per rest. I would say Unforgiven is a bit better. Okay. Do we have new spells? We actually do. I'm quite surprised. Runegrim's Innovating Terror. Terrified 28 seconds. Weakened 28 seconds. Causes enemies to area effect envision their worst fears, causing them to be weakened and terrified. Okay, yes. And Milota's Concussive Missiles. 1627. Crush damage. 1116. Area of AoE crush damage. Fires a 5 missile of pure force that at the target, causing a shockwave of crushing damage to foes close to the impact. No, that's not bad. I just realized I could learn the spell from the spell description. Anywho. Well, that was okay. Actually, nobody went down. But yeah, I kind of feel that...
I'm ready.
When we use the sworn enemy, I actually have to check that at some point if I remember. But I'm guessing that once she became on our side for a while, well, it says against the target until the combat ends or the target goes down. But does it mean combat in like now the combat is ended, or does it mean that once we are not attacking Metzla, and she's friendly towards us, it's not combat anymore and it goes away? I don't know, actually. Because, yeah, that could be a bit wasteful if it goes away once we'll
keep to ourselves.
Have her on our side. This crate is empty, though it smells strongly of fish. Anyways, I digress. We might as well, camp here. We took a little beating, so why not? Vessel. Okay, let's go with that. I don't know. It might be that we are not able to do the Durgan's battery in this episode, unfortunately.
I shall be discreet.
In the trampled, bloody slush around this toppled wagon, you'll spy tracks leading back south along the path. Okay, good. So we saw the creature that keeps the, ice troll. I'm not really worried about, I'm worried about 2 ice trolls, but maybe we can do this. So we might want to get some fireballs going, because why not? Who are you? You're Ada. Please don't run where the fireballs are going.
No, you are like that rock.
Because that would be a bit annoying, if I'm completely honest. Give some more of this. So could you, yeah, let's use that. You use that. Come on, Ice Strong, die already. Yeah. No.
This thing isn't doing the... That's not...
Okay.
Not very helpful. This thing isn't doing the job. That's not very helpful.
So I guess I need to move. So I could finally fire the fireball. That hits a little bit harder, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Durance, please, heal yourself.
Stronger.
That's not very helpful.
Well, not as hard as the Metzla, but still...
Gotcha. Let's go.
That sleeping around didn't really help, of course.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
Yes. I kind of want to keep the Grieving Mother because of the Cipher spells, which I'm not using as efficiently as I thought. So there's always, of course, that I could take Sagani to... on her place, but I... Okay, what is this area? This is a battery watchtower. So we check this outside before we do go inside. So that's probably on this episode, and next episode we go in, because I'm fairly certain it will take a little while to go through it. I had hoped we would be inside already, but yeah. Always something comes along the way. What is this? Talisman of the Unconquerable. Plus 2 intellect while endurance above 50. Plus 25% focus gain while endurance above 50. Oh. That could be something maybe for you.
Huh?
Maybe. So I'll try to check the outside as much as I can. That's a dead end, I guess. And return the quests. And so for next episode, we probably straight... Well, before we do that, we do want to go to the tower. There's a bow there. Oh, nice. As you grab the bow, it vibrates with a strange and familiar energy. Searching your bag, you find a silver arrow that you found lodged in an injured Winterwolf. As you hold the bow and arrow together, the arrow suddenly snaps into place. You hear a crackling hum, and a pale ribbon of light begins to form between the ends of the bow. When you pull the arrow back, you feel very solid resistance. You have gained an item, Stormcaller, added to inventory. That sounds promising. Spine Soul, Chanter, Cipher Ranger, Hunting Bow. Ooh. Bloody hell. Obviously, we probably... It does shock damage. Oh, that's nice. So we could use that on Sagani as a second weapon, because it does shock and pierce. So most likely it will do some damage to enemies who have pierce resistance. Maybe. -6 damage reduction shock. Cipher. Wait, what weapons did you use? Ruffian? Saber, Stiletto, Club, Pistol, Blunderbuss. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't check what weapons the Chander used. But I'm fairly certain this is something I will give to Sagani as a second weapon. Maybe the hunting bow was on the... Okay, that is something we can probably interact from the other side. For the... Druid. He might have the hunting bow skill. But again, it's not deal breaker altogether. Sagani still can use the bow without even the skill, so there's that. It just either accuracy or damage. Probably accuracy. But anyhow, I digress. Let's continue. So I'll go through here.
A crack deep enough to rival Margren's heated depths.
You and your
I'm
cracks. Yes, let's keep this for now, yeah. Oh, we could go there. Okay, by the by, how much damage I've done so far? We are almost on the next level. Interesting to see how it evolves. Well, let's pick some flowers, because why not? Brentwind Band. More cannons. Oh. Right. Some spirits going on about. Yeah, I'll definitely leave them inside for the next episode, because I'm fairly certain it will take a little while. Then I'm thinking, once I've dealt with the White March part 1, I think I'll try to see if I can go deeper in Gate Noir. The endless parts, if I could actually finish it, because I think I should be able to finish it. Who knows? Well, maybe we can. So we can get that crossed out before we continue White March 2. Oh, that was a part of the cannon, not a body. I thought it was a body. Okay.
That caravan must have had a half-ton of steel. Coinmaster Zoltan's finally getting his way.
For now. The other commandants will have his head.
Only if they don't tear each other to pieces first. I heard Maroon and Exandru.
Shh. Last thing I want is to get on Maroon's bad side.
Fine, just say the words then. I'm getting hoarse.
Somehow I thought horse,
Light,
but not
flame, and
horse.
sound.
Horse.
We'll keep to ourselves.
Whatever. I'll check it out so we can see if there's something hidden somewhere. No? No hidden stuff?
Maybe they had one really tall dwarf who needed a door this big.
Eder, don't quit your day job. I know my puns are bad, but... jeez. So that's Durgan's battery. Yeah. So, I'm gonna go and return the quest, or, I mean, the bounty. And, well, it doesn't really take that long to run. So we finally emptied the whole map. Whole of map. And next episode we definitely enter Durgan's battery. We probably start the episode right over here. It's I had my plans that we would be around hour in game and we would enter Durgan's battery, and suddenly we're doing quite a lot of things, jumping here and there and whatnot. But that's the nature of the beast, like these games. Fortunately, I'm not playing open world game at the moment, because that usually goes pretty much wayside as soon as I start. And I'm not going near where I should go. Anyway, still though, I have a head for you. I have Metzla of the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull. Kinda ironic, isn't it? She went around killing people for Berat, and in the end, that's what... Oh, never mind, just take the bounty. He passes you a bag that rattles with coin. 3,000 copper. And 3,996 experience. Nice. I've heard some new reports of dangerous folk about. Perhaps you'd be interested in going after them too. Well, tell me. And that be the disciples of the True Flame and Old Dundred Hunting Lodge. Okay, where is the True Flame? I didn't know what to make of this one, but word is it's a group of dragon cultists. I know it sounds bizarre. I didn't believe it myself until I heard they torched an outpost north of Maiden Falls for clearing the nest of worms, they said. Last I heard, they made camp near Longwatch Falls. They shouldn't be hard to spot. Okay, and the old Dundrit's hunting lodge? Adherents with too much time and money. They travel around hunting monsters for sport. But they leave a mess of wrecked property and dead bodies, in their wake. They've been charged with murder and general mischief in Defiance Bay, New Helma, and a dozen other towns in between. Someone saw them hunting in the Russet Wood, so you might look for them there. We'll do that later. What do you want to know? Nothing. So, those bounties, I'll leave them much later because, again, next episode we definitely go to the Durgan's Battery. Maybe after that we try to deal with those. Page unturned added. Okay, so we have another quest. A series of murders has shocked and terrorized the scribes of White Rock Isle. Sequestered in the island monastery in the Boot of Ondra, they have had a little success reaching out to the mainland for help. Though renowned for their integrity and artistic talents, the scribes may be unknowingly harboring someone who is attempting to sabotage their work on Forbidden Booth. Oh, this is exactly like the story of the Name of the Rose. Nice. Monks. Forbidden books. Yeah. Who would we send there? You can go. You are a people person. You can go there. Okay. So, next episode, we start next to Durgan's Battery, and we will go inside the Durgan's Battery, even if it kills me. And those bounties we will deal later. But yeah. Well, at least we did something, but I still wanted to get inside the battery. But it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.